Do you remember that time when God asked you to stay after church to help clean up after a church function? Do you remember when he told you to go to church 2 hours earlier to help set up for the church function? Do you remember when God asked you to clean the bathrooms? Do you remember when he told you to teach at children's church? Do you remember you had excuses? Do you remember you were too tired? Do you remember you were too lazy? Do you remember you couldn't make it? Do you remember when you couldn't give your time to God? When you couldn't serve in your church? When you couldn't serve in someone's ministry? Now you're at a point in your life where you have your own ministry, you have your own business, you have something of your own, and you're waiting for God to send people to help serve with you. You're waiting for God to send people to serve into your vision. But God says, where were you when I needed you to serve in my vision? Where were you when your friends were asking for service for their vision, for their business, for their ministry? Where were you? How can you expect God to send people to serve in your business, in your ministry, when you couldn't serve in others? A lot of times we don't want to serve in other people's ministries because we don't have a passion for it. It's not our passion. It's not our vision. Or sometimes, a lot of times it's because we're envious. We're envious that God is blessing them. And we're not being blessed the way God's blessing them. So we don't want to contribute to their blessing. But God is calling you to serve. But God is telling you, I cannot trust to bring other people to serve you when you couldn't be faithful to serve other people. We got to stop being selfish. We have to stop being envious. We have to stop looking at what other people have and wanting what they have so bad that it keeps us from blessing them, or it keeps us from serving for them or serving with them. God called us to serve. Mark 10:45 says, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve." So if God was here to serve, if God came to serve and God continued to serve, what makes you think that you don't have to serve? What makes you think that you shouldn't serve? And you can say, God, but I have served. God, but I was serving. When the church opened up, God, I was the one who was doing this. I was the one who was doing that. When my friend started this business, I was the one who was promoting it. I was the one who was contributing to it. But God is telling you, but who told you to stop? Who told you to stop serving? Who told you that, okay, you served enough? Why do you think there's a time limit on your service? Just because you received your blessing, just because the person received their blessing, why do you think that means it's time for you to stop serving? God wants you to serve. God wants us to serve. In your waiting season, God wants you to serve. In your winning season, God wants you to serve. If Jesus came to serve us, it is our job to serve others. And that's it. Period, point blank. There is no serve and God's gonna bless you. Serve and you're gonna see all your fruits or a harvest of your vision is going to come to fruition. That's it. Yes, that is a reward that God gives us. But what happens when we don't see the fruits? What happens when we don't see the harvest? Keep serving. Keep serving, because that's what we were created for. We weren't created to serve and get a blessing. We weren't created to serve until we get the blessing. We were created to serve regardless.